Welcome to Kykar Fireworks. As far as our opening hand goes, we got a one lander, so let's go to mulligan on this one. And yes, we'll keep on this one. It's a little clunky, but we've got Battlefield Forge into Soul Ring into Skull Clamp, and we just need to get, yeah, we'll keep on this one. Hopefully, we can make this work. So we need to put one card on the bottom. What are we putting down? Let's go ahead and put, I guess at this point, we'll just go ahead and put, to be honest, I think we'll probably just end up putting down Swan Song. I think we're okay with that. So we're going to click OK, and our opponent is on the play. So yes, hopefully we draw into a land, but at least we're going to lead off with Battlefield Forge into Soul Ring into Skull Clamp, and really set the tone for Kaalia. So hopefully we don't get demoned out from our opponent. But yes, happy 4th of July. If you celebrate the 4th of July, happy 4th of July. If you don't, happy Monday. If you're not from America, happy Monday. And if you don't know what the 4th of July is, it's Independence Day, I think. Yes. It's like I know what it is, but I was like officially trying to describe what it is. I'm like, what is the actual thing? But anyway, it's a day to relax and shoot fireworks, and that's pretty much what most people do. So let's go and lead off with Battlefield Forge. Let's go for tap that down. Let's go for Soul Ring. And then let's go for Skull Clamp. It's going to be tapping that down for 1. Hopefully we run into some color sources. And then anything else, we will pass the turn over to our opponent. We're playing Kykar, Wind's Fury. Flying, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. Then, for an activated ability, sacrifice a spirit, add red mana to your mana pool. Playing against Kaalia. Whenever Kaalia of the Vast attacks an opponent, you may put an angel, demon, or dragon creature card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped and attacking that opponent. If you've never played against Kaalia, Kaalia is pretty much removal on site. So if we can run into some removal or set up an Arcane Denial, we'll certainly try to go for that to stop Kaalia from dropping something pretty nasty and gnarly onto the battlefield. But we'll see what that's going to be. So we'll see what we draw into for the turn. Definitely looking for a blue-red source. That would be beneficial. But we'll take that. It's a Chromatic Lantern. And we've got a lot of mana, so let's go ahead. Is there any certain way that's going to be 1, 2, 3 off of Chromatic Lantern? And that gives us access to like Teferi's Protection. Yeah, we can make that work. So let's go 1, 2, 3, tap down Battlefield Forge. And then that'll put us on, yeah, having just enough mana for Kykar for next turn. And we can leave up Arcane Denial to stop Kaalia. So I do like that. So anything else, we will pass the turn over to our opponent. So we did cover both commanders. Let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors, TCG Player. If you go to bit.ly/JoltMTG, that will apply my affiliate link that will allow you to get some cards and help support the channel at the same time. So if you do use that link, much obliged. I certainly appreciate it. Let's give a quick shout out to MTGOTraders. If you're looking to play digital Magic, they've got you covered, especially online Commander. And last but not least, I started a Patreon. So if you'd like to directly support cool content like this, there's a link down in the description below. But if you're keeping score at home in the fireworks stand with the spirit tokens, it is officially free time, so let's have some fun. All right, and hopefully this is Kaalia. Yeah, this is Kaalia. So we're going to go for Arcane Denial. This is going to be blue, tap down Chromatic Lantern. That does give them some card advantage, but hey, we can make this work. The main thing is we just want to get that commander tax going and then hope that we run into some more spot removal. At the very least, we're looking at Kykar for next turn, and maybe we can get a few more spirit tokens going. And if we can get the spirit tokens going and then they don't really have like a trample effect or nothing too gnarly, we might be able to kind of survive this. So we'll see what's going on. Let's get Kaalia pop back up. And then, but yes, it is officially free time. Let's have some fun. We'll talk about my 4th of July plans here in just a second once we get this card draw. All right, so shared animosity. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we do have 6 total mana. Let's tap down Soul Ring. We need to tap down blue, tap down red, and then we end up tapping down for, yeah, because we can't make enough color mana to protect Kykar. So do we want to extend into this? Let's back this up a little bit. So we end up getting Kykar down because that's going to be 3 color sources, and then we'll have 2 with Soul Ring. I think we do some setting up. So let's go, yeah, I think I kind of like this. So we'll end up going for Swiftfoot Boots. Let's get down Swiftfoot Boots. We can still end up tapping down for 2. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's end up going for, yeah, let's get down Selfless Spirit. I like this. So we'll tap down Selfless Spirit off of Chromatic Lantern, tapping down for 1. And I guess we can just end up getting the Swiftfoot Boots on the Selfless Spirit. That's fine. Or if we actually wanted to, I think I kind of do like this. Let's go Skull Clamp onto Selfless Spirit. because we're going to have Swiftfoot Boots out there. So yeah, let's do that. We're going to Skull Clamp onto Selfless Spirit to get some card advantage, because we really need to start making some land drops. It's going to be really important for us. So let's get try to get Skull Clamp onto Selfless Spirit if this sticks, and then hopefully be able to make the land drop for the turn and kind of get that rolling. So let's see what else they've got. Let's wait for them to respond to this trigger, and then we'll jump into commentary. So we're going to get 2 card draw of Skull Clamp. And that is going to be... All right, there we go. So we run into a land drop. So let's drop in a Windscarred Crag. This is going to be 1 extra life gain, drops us up to... or bumps us up to 41. And then anything else, we're going to pass the turn over to our opponent. But yes, with Kykar... Or no, excuse me, my 4th of July plans. So if you don't know, I have a little girl, and she's going to be turning 3 in November. And so there is a 4th of July parade that we're going to be planning on going to, probably Monday morning for that 4th of July parade. And so that'll be a lot of fun. So she likes to see a lot of the trucks. One of the big things in her world right now is anything that's bigger than a normal size vehicle, like a car or an SUV, that's a car. Anything bigger than that is a monster truck. So, but she knows what a fire truck is. But if anything bigger than that, she calls it a monster truck. So we're going to be going to the parade and hopefully getting to see some monster trucks. That'll be pretty cool. And that's going to be Kaalia, Zenith Seeker. We have no way to stop that. So enters the battlefield, look at the top 6 cards of your library, put it in your hand, rest on the bottom. So basically, that's just an ETB effect. Okay, so we got double Kaalia. I'm just making sure I'm reading that right. Enters the battlefield, look at the top 6 cards. Yeah, that's just an enter the battlefield effect. So we'll see what they end up grabbing off of that. But yeah, so we're planning on going to the parade. And the only downside to the parade is that she does not enjoy super, super loud things. So if the fire truck comes by, she's super excited to see the fire truck. But once it blasts its horn, she's kind of like, whoa, that's a little spooky, a little scary right there. So that's the only downside. But other than that, she's going to hopefully enjoy that. So that's the name of the game. All right, so let's see what we run into. So we run into Murmuring Mystic. Yeah, I like getting down Kykar, so that's going to be, make sure we're tapping down correct. So it's going to be blue, tap down white, and then tap down for red, and tap down 2 for Soul Ring. Yeah, and that'll be perfect, because we can get Swiftfoot Boots onto Kykar with that last colorless mana. There we go, and that's the reveal zone for that Burning Rune Demon. So we'll take a look at that in just a second. All right, so we're looking at a 3/3 that we can swing in with. Do we want to end up skull clamping that way just in case they have a board wipe? Yeah, why not? I mean, we don't really have anything else that we would end up going for. So let's go ahead and equip skull clamp onto Kykar. That way we have a little bit of a power toughness bonus, or at least the power bonus. And then if something does happen to Kykar, we get some card advantage for our trouble. So anything else? Let's go ahead and pass the turn over to our opponent. There we go. Let's take a quick look at Burning Rune Demon. So with Burning Rune Demon, enters the battlefield. You may search your library for exactly 2 cards not named Burning Rune Demons that have different names. If you do, reveal those cards. Opponent chooses one of them, put the chosen card into your hand, the other card into your graveyard, then shuffle. So we'll see if they have any sort of fun stuff that they're going to be going for that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they are at 6 total mana, so we are looking at a Kaalia recast, or we're looking at a hard cast on Burning Rune Demon. So we'll see what they end up going for off of that. But yes, we're planning on going to the parade to see all the fun stuff in the parade. Then we're going to go over to my parents' house for some burgers. My dad got a Blackstone grill. And if you don't know, a Blackstone grill is kind of basically, it's just like a griddle you'd see in a restaurant, but it's outdoors. And so he enjoys cooking smash burgers. So we're having some burgers on Monday, and then getting some swimming going, and then seeing some fireworks. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I live out in the county, which if you're not from America, you can live in the city, you can live in the county. So we're not in any sort of city limits. And so in the county, you can basically just shoot fireworks. I think you could, if you wanted to shoot fireworks in the middle of October, if you wanted to, you could do it if you're out in the county. And so we typically don't have to travel anywhere to see a bunch of fireworks that the city puts on, because there's a lot of people that enjoy their fireworks out in the county. So the only downside is we're kind of in a burn ban right now. But with that burn ban, and this is where it's kind of goofy. So with the burn ban, you can still shoot fireworks as long as you're careful. Which, if you really kind of think about that, if you're in a burn ban, like that means don't, have any outside burns, don't be burning brush and don't be burning different things, whatever that is. But you can do fireworks as long as you're careful, which is kind of, it's kind of their way of getting around it to where they can basically just sell fireworks and just still sell them during a burn ban and saying be careful. So we'll see. Hopefully there's no there's no fires or the county catches on fire. So our opponent's taking a little bit of extra time with this Burning Rune Demon. So I'm going to go ahead and wait for them to kind of give us an option, and then we'll go for there. Okay, so our opponent finally grabs an option. So we need to choose one to go in the hand and the other goes into the graveyard. So I think, so whenever it dies, choose one, put target non-dragon creature card from your graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. If we put Avacyn into their hand, they're going to have to hard cast it, or they can end up dropping it with Kaalia. So I think the better option would be to give them Avacyn in the hand, and then Midnight Sky goes into the graveyard. I think that's the better option. So choose a card to go in the hand. So we're going to put Avacyn into the hand, and then Midnight Sky goes into the graveyard. And we're still going to leave this popped out as far as what's in their hand as far as Avacyn goes. So if they want to end up going Kaalia, dropping that in, they certainly can. We do have Heliod's Intervention. And so with Heliod's Intervention, that's going to allow us to at least pop that Rakdos Signet to kind of back them off any sort of getting down Kaalia. So they're swinging in for a 3-3. Yeah, we'll go and let that come on in. That's really nothing too crazy. This is going to drop us down to 38, and then we'll go from there. So one of the big things that we are looking for is just making our land drops. All right, I will take that. So let's drop in Bloodstained Mire. We do have the option to go Heliod's Intervention to pop that Rakdos Signet. I think we will end up doing that. So we don't really want to push into a 6-6 or a 3-3. So I guess what we end up doing is we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We do have 8 total mana, so we can at least still go for Murmuring Mystic. I think that sounds pretty good. So let's go Chromatic Lantern. Let's get down Murmuring Mystic. That's going to be 1, 2, and then 3, 4 off of Ancient Tomb. And that still gives us 1 for Heliod's Intervention. I think that sounds like a pretty good plan. All right, so we're going to go 1. We'll get down Murmuring Mystic. And then let's go for Heliod's Intervention onto that Rakdos Signet. Destroy target artifact. That's going to be Rakdos Signet. We're going to click 1, click OK. And then we'll end up tapping down white and tapping down white, and then tapping down for 1. So that's going to give us a Murmuring Mystic token. That's going to be a Kykar Spirit token. And then actually, let's get this moved over here with Kaalia. That way we can just kind of see what's going on. There we go. I like the stack a little bit better. All right, so we're going to get that bird token onto the battlefield. And we will still end up clamping onto one of these spirit tokens, and actually probably what we'll end up doing is, let's go and clamp onto this bird illusion token. I kind of like doing that. So let's go skull clamp onto the illusion token, tapping down for 1 white mana, and then that way we can get some card advantage, and then hopefully draw into an additional spell. So with us going for the bird tokens, we should be able to generate spirit tokens a lot quicker than Murmuring Mystic on the bird token. And then Mana Crypt, I'll take that. So let's go ahead and drop in Mana Crypt, because that gives us an extra spirit token onto the battlefield. So let's drop that, let's drop in Mana Crypt, and I think what we'll end up doing is still using the sacrifice from the spirit token to skull clamp onto that last spirit token. I like doing that. So let's go sacrifice the spirit, let's sacrifice the one that just got made. Let's go skull clamp onto the spirit token. And we'll draw a little bit more, and if we can keep this chain going, we certainly will, because playing against Kaalia is not a lot of fun. All right, so we do run into Swords of Plowshare, which is very good. We definitely wanted to see something like that. And let's go ahead and equip Skull Clamp onto, I guess, Murmuring Mystic. That way if something does happen, yeah, I think I kind of like that. All right, so we're going to equip Skull Clamp onto Murmuring Mystic. That way if there is a board wipe, it's going to be hard for them to go for spot removal on Kykar, so that way if they do end up going for spot removal, they'll have to target Murmuring Mystic, and we'll end up getting a little bit of card advantage. So anything else, we will pass the turn over to our opponent. There we go. I like that. That's going to allow us to kind of hopefully build up a little bit of a better board state. Now, we do have Recruiter of the Guard in the hand, and so next turn, what we're probably going to end up going for is we can try to go for Shared Animosity. With Shared Animosity, we kind of want to get that down once we end up getting a lot of spirit tokens out there. Because with Shared Animosity, if you don't know about it, whenever a creature you control attacks, it gets +1 until end of turn for each other attacking creature that shares a creature type with it. And so we have no overlap between birds and spirits. So we're going to be trying to build up the spirit tokens with Kykar. And that way, because what we can do with Shared Animosity is we can just kind of slowly start building it up and building it up and building it up. And then once we do that, We can try to set up an alpha swing with shared animosity. So, but we also we have a way to keep Kaalia off the battlefield because we do have counterspell. So if they end up dropping Kaalia, we're going to be able to go Swords to Plowshare on Kaalia and then hopefully set up counterspell to stop any potential extra Kaalias or at least getting rid of Avacyn because with Avacyn, if they have that indestructible, it's not the end of the world because we do have Swords to Plowshare and different things like that, but everything having indestructible, yeah, that's a little rough sometimes. We do kind of want to pay some respect to that. So, but right now it's very manageable with what they have going on their side of the battlefield. All right, so we got the demon swinging in, and we will take a hit for 9 this turn, but at the very least, once we start kind of churning through some of our spells and getting extra tokens on the battlefield, we should be in a pretty good spot. And if things get a little bit nutty, we've still got Teferi's protection, so there we go. So at the very least for next turn, we're looking at Swords to Plowshare on Kaalia. We'll probably end up going for that in our main phase, because just in case they have some sort of protection spell to protect Kaalia, we just want to keep that commander text going as high as we can. So let's go and choose Tails on this Mana Crypt trigger. Lots of flip, we are 0 for 1 on those. And we run into Mystic Monastery. So we end up going for Recruiter of the Guard. Yeah, so we go Recruiter into Young Pyromancer, because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's going to be 5 with Mystic. And then it'll still leave us open on Teferi's Protection. Yeah, let's go for that. Or do we need to do that? Because we're going to be able to make in a lot of tokens off of Swords to Plowshare. Yeah, let's just do this. Let's go Swords to Plowshare off of Kaalia of the Vast. And so that's going to be 1 white mana off of Windscarred Crag. That's going to give us some extra tokens on the battlefield. Yeah, that's going to be a lot. I'd rather get tokens and start skull clamping, because that is that's some good magic right there. So let's get Swords to Plowshare going. All right, so we're going to get the Murmuring Mystic. We're going to get the Spirit token on the battlefield. Swords to Plowshare on Kaalia. That will keep Kaalia off the battlefield. And let's get some Skull Clamp going. So we at least do have a tap land drop to make with Mystic Monastery. But let's tap down Mana Crypt. Let's get Skull Clamp onto the Bird token. Pay for 1. And we'll see if we can't run into any more cantrips. But let's get some card advantage going. That's going to be the main thing that we want to do. If you've never played Kykar, or if you've never played a Skull Clamp token deck, I highly recommend both. And in fact, well, I recommend either one. I recommend Kykar and I recommend Skull Clamp in a 1/1 token deck. And it's just, Skull Clamp's a busted card. I mean, it's I don't know, it's a very funny card. Funny card, I mean, just an insanely good card. Let me clarify that. It is just crazy. You can see what the card advantage is doing. All right. So we do run into some more lands. So we do have a way to, and actually, excuse me, we do not have a way. Let's go ahead and actually crack Bloodstained Mire. And we'll get a Volcanic Island on the battlefield. That way we can at least have Glacial Fortress come into play untapped. And let's have Glacial Fortress come in. And we can get Saheeli down and still keep up Remand and Counterspell. And I think that sounds like a pretty good option. So let's go Chromatic Lantern. Let's go tap that down. And is there any way we can leave up Counter and Remand? If we end up tapping down, we only have 1 counter, and I think we're okay with that. We'll do that. All right. So let's get Saheeli down, and we can use that last colorless mana. And actually, no, what we can do is we'll get that Spirit token on the battlefield. We'll lose that last colorless mana, and then we can use double blue for counterspell, and then sacrifice a Spirit token for the Remand if we need to end up going for that. So with Saheeli, what we're going to end up doing is Saheeli is just kind of a set it and forget it. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to leave up Saheeli as a way to generate some extra tokens, and then anything else, we will pass the turn over to our opponent. So yes, so we've got some answers for whatever our opponent's trying to go. If they're trying to get demons down, we're in a pretty good spot. I know this is kind of a little bit, not slow rolling, but we're trying to do, not, I guess playing more conservative, but we want to build up some more counter magic. We want to build up answers to these demons that our opponent's going to be trying to hard cast. Because we are looking at 1, 2, that's going to be 5, 6, and 7. And so with 7 mana, they're starting to be able to just hard cast the demons that they're trying to cheat into play. Especially with us popping Kaalia so much. So it's going to be Fervor, which we're okay with that. They'll be able to get down Fervor. If they get anything else that's sort of kind of, just value-based, we might end up popping a Remand just to kind of build up a few more Spirit tokens, especially the Serval tokens, because with Saheeli out there, that does allow us to start to generate our Air Force and at the same time give us fodder for Skull Clamp. With the servo tokens and leave up a lot of these creatures to block in the air, because nothing has haste right now. not haste. Everything has haste. Nothing has trample. So we can block all these 6/6s for days as long as we have a 1/1 flying creature out there. So let's see what this 4 mana is. More than likely, this is going to be remand out of the hand, and then we'll go from there. Okay, opponent's going to go for Grim, and yeah, that will get some action out of the hand. So let's tap down for blue. And I don't think we have to worry about anything for white mana, and so, or at least kind of holding up counter spell. So we're going to go remand on this one. Let's get these triggers on the stack, and oh, look at this Spell Slinger. I love it. I am at home right now. This is some beautiful, beautiful fireworks. And let's go and always yield to that. So we'll get those spirit tokens onto the battlefield. And I think the name of the game right now is trying to, yeah, I think it's just trying to get as many spirit tokens going now as possible. So we'll get that servo token on the battlefield. We're going to send Grim back to our opponent's hand. Click OK. And then we draw the oh, okay, there we go. So, all right, so now we have something to do with these spirit tokens. You know, one of the ways that you can win with Kykar is through shared animosity, but once you get down impact tremors, you're getting some good stuff going. So let's see if they want to swing in. I think we still might end up taking a hit for 9. We'll probably drop a bird token on the 6/6 because the 3's not too crazy. We're sitting at 20. We do have a, actually, we'll take a 3. Yeah, we're fine with that. The demon's not swinging in, so that drops down to 20. We do have Mana Crypt out there, but with us being at half of our live total, I think we're okay on that. So let's see what we run into for the turn, but if not, we're looking pretty good. So let's get this Mana Crypt trigger. Let's go and choose Tails on this Mana Crypt trigger. 1 the flip, and we stay at 20, and then we run into Tundra. So let's go and drop in Tundra, and let's go for Impact. Actually, we'll go for Soul Ring Skull Clamp on the servo token. And so it's going to be 2 card advantage that we can draw into. And let's drop in. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're getting some good stuff. All right, so let's go Impact Tremors first, because we want to get that down with that last colorless mana. So it's going to be Kykar. We're going to get Saheeli with the servo token. Oh, look at this. This is some good. And we do have actually double board protection. At this point right now, I kind of want to leave that up. So let's get down Impact Tremors. Let's get down Young Pyromancer. That's going to be tapping down red, and we'll tap down, because that'll be 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2. Yeah, we can actually just tap down on Chromatic Lantern, get down Young Pyromancer, and I think what we end up doing is I think we just pass the turn, because that's going to be 1 damage to our opponent. We can try to recruit her for the guard, but I like either setting up a Unbreakable Formation to get some more stuff onto the battlefield, or we can recruit her the guard to get some extra stuff out there. But I think at this point, actually we can. We go and drop in Unbreakable Formation, because that does give us, that's going to be red. Yeah, I like this. So we go Unbreakable Formation. Excuse me, we go for Shared Animosity. We'll get some extra tokens on the battlefield, and then we can try to set up Unbreakable Formation for next turn. I don't know if we can get an alpha swing, but we have a way to protect our board state. We have a way to stop them getting down a big creature threat out there, and we have a lot of spirit tokens that we can sacrifice if we need to. So I think we can get this done. So drop them down to 39. We'll get down Shared Animosity, and then anything else. I think we just simply just pass the turn. Yeah, this is beautiful. This is exactly what you want to see with Kykar. So, and we don't really want to swing into a 3/6 or anything like that. So anything else, we will simply just going to go ahead and pass the turn over to our opponent. So one of the heavy hitters right now is that if we can start firing off some instant or sorceries, we're looking at a token from Kykar, token from Murmuring Mystic, a token from Young Pyromancer, a token from Saheeli. So every instant that we cast right now, that's going to be 4 damage to our opponent with Impact Tremors on the battlefield. So if we end up ripping a counterspell or Teferi's Protection, that's going to be 8 damage to our opponent. That drops them down to 31. Then we start ripping some more instant or sorceries for next turn. I don't know if we can close it out, but if we're just going counterspell to stop something, and then we just kind of burn a Teferi's Protection just to get some extra creatures on the battlefield, that's something that we can certainly do for next turn. So let's see what this is. This is going to be Hellkite Tyrant, and that does have haste, so that will get a counterspell out of our hand. So let's get a double blue, and then tap down blue off of Battlefield Forge. There we go. All right, so let's get all these triggers on the stack. All right, opponent's going to scoop up on that one. So yeah, I don't know if we can close it out next turn, but we're going to get really, really close. So that's going to be 4 damage once these tokens enter the battlefield. And with that counterspell stopping Hellkite Tyrant, we're going to be pretty much good to go. So either way, next turn, since we have so much mana, we're getting in a spot to where we've got Shared Animosity on the battlefield. We get the spirit tokens kind of adding up, and that's going to be a lot for that. We have the impact trimmers, and really just any sort of just card advantage, faithless looting, you know, you're seeing what we're drawing into. We're going to be able to really kind of start generating from there. And the other thing is that we have 2 ways to protect our board. So even if our opponent does have something like Damnation, Toxic Deluge, we're going to be able to kind of keep the value train going. So anyway, this is some beautiful fireworks for today. And if you enjoyed the video, hey, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.